Well, hello. So, what do you like when you screw up? Me, I get all sweaty. I get really sweaty sometimes. If it's a bad screw up, I'm dripping sweat from places I didn't even know I have places. So, I screwed up a couple of weeks ago. I talked about, there it is, this pen, which is green striped, and you'll see it in the close-ups. I just didn't have its name right then. But this I identified as a Rexpen Goldy. It's not. It's a Typhoon, which is a totally different brand. So I was wrong over and over and over throughout the entire video. Of course. I don't know why I called it a Goldy. Because I have a Goldy. Here it is. And we're going to talk about it right now. And look at where I screwed up. And when you see me struggling to read it, I just couldn't make it out, so I had to crowdsource some help. So I put some links to what little I learned about the brand. So let's take a look at the actual Rexpen Goldy. All right, so this is a TOZ Penkala Goldy. Now I got a confession to make, but before I do my confession, I do own another Goldy. This one has some writing issues that I've been working on. Not real well, but I've been working on them. I love the finish on this one, though. It's beautiful. I just love that checkerboard thing. But it has Goldy on the side, and they're basically the same nib. It's a box steel nib. So the one I'm going to be talking about today has Goldy. Suppose I could fill that in somehow. Very nice finish. Piston filler. And again, a box steel nib. This one is silver colored. Now here's where things get wild. I hate when I make a mistake. So a few weeks ago, not very many, I reviewed this pen. And I called it a Goldy. It is not, but in this light suddenly I noticed some writing on it, so I'm going to see if I can read it. Okay, I did find some writing. I can't quite make out what it says even with my loupe, but let me just put it up close here. Maybe you can. I don't know, I never noticed that before, so let me just try a little something here. So one thing you can do, if with a pen, that's maybe not high value, is fill in with a crayon. So I used a white crayon here. So I'm making a TA, and under the loop that looks like two L's, and then I want to say UN. So I misidentified this pen, and I apologize, and I will try to figure out what it is. In the meantime, we have a Goldy. So let's, I don't know, what would be a good ink to put in it? How about some Parker Quinn washable blue? And my bottle is so low that I'm going to have to use this ink miser. And I'm probably not using the ink miser much longer because the bottle is almost empty. And since I have two more pens to review yet, because I'm batch filming, I may be using this bottle of Quink up today. So we'll just look here how the piston runs. Seems to operate pretty smoothly. So I'm going to start with it in the down position just so I don't make a mess with any bubbling. We'll draw up. It is inhaling ink. One of the things I had to do with, this pen is I had to clean it. So of course I wasn't surprised that it inhaled ink because it inhaled water while I cleaned it. That, by the way, is the most common repair you have to do with vintage pens, is just clean them. Alright, so we got it inked up with some Parker Quink washable blue. We'll set my ink miser to the side because, like I said, I've got 2 more pens I'm going to do yet with it. Let's see how this Goldie writes. Hopefully better than the fake Goldie that I showed you and the real Goldie. Not a great start. So I'm going to try, I pulled out the nib and feed, they're just friction fit. I'm going to push the nib up a little bit higher on the feed because I feel like there was too much nib exposed. I'll give a chance to get down there now. But you know, there was a lot of nib exposed and now there's a lot less because it's friction fit, so it's easy. There we go. So this is a TOZ Penkala Goldy. This isn't bad. Actually, I don't know what nib size it is. We'll just go with that. Okay, the ink in it is Parker Quink. Washable blue. Alright, we'll just, for flex, although these steel Bach nibs are typically not super flexy. I mean, oh, I'm not happy about that. Yeah, we may be doing a little work on this pen yet. Because on this channel, you don't get them all working perfectly. Till I've had a chance to write with them, because this is a first impression. Yeah, I'm not thrilled there. I feel like my other one did that too. And I may need to heat set the nib. There's a lot of options for what I can do. It may just need a day or two to saturate. And you don't know until you've experienced the pen for a few days. Which is a limitation of these first impressions. So that's a flex test, not flexy like I said. We'll do a wetness and flow test. Definitely a somewhat inconsistent flow. Okay, decent. Smear test. Yeah, I felt like it was dry and that didn't disappoint. Reverse writing, if you're into that kind of thing. I can tell that failure there made me nervous because I'm starting to sweat. Scratchy, ultra extra fine. And finally, the world famous Peter Gustafson test, which I'm kind of expecting it to fail. Yep, that was a fail and a half. Wow. So we'll ink it up for, or leave it inked up for a few weeks, and we'll just see how I feel about it. So that's the Rexpen Goldy. A little bit of an inauspicious start in this video, but I'll tell you, after it laid for a night in my pen case, this is a fun pen to write with. It actually very, very nice flow, a very good pen. I had no trouble. I'd go page after page and it would just write, and it was awesome. So, yeah, that's why every so often I got to come back to these pens and do Survivor Pens videos, because some of them just don't give a very good first impression. And that's just like people. Sometimes people don't give you a first impression, and then you get to know them, you're like, okay. Other times people give you a great first impression, and you get to know them, you're like, oh. So, this is one of those good ones. I'm very happy with it. I love the finish. It almost looks like that spaghetti finish you're seeing on some of the higher-end, what is it, Leonardo pen? I'm not really into the modern pen world, but some of those higher-end pens. Pocket test, very rough, very tight, but it does go on, and you're not going to lose it. So, that was the Rexpen Goldy. For real this time. Well, thank you for watching. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.